What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and it is May of 2024, which means we get a brand new Hero of the Month in Empires and Puzzles. It is Bow and Runt. So of course, I'm going to do a full breakdown and give them a grade, as well as a couple of summons to see if I can get them. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so Bow and Runt are a 5-star legendary nature hero. They come together as a pair. The art, I'm mixed on. Runt is cute, I guess, but I don't know what's up with Bow. I guess Bow's not meant to be cute, but it also seems like Bow is kind of a play on words, considering he's a ranger and his name is Bow. Anyway, that's something I picked up on. So he is a ranger, part of the 2024 family, which of course will come with benefits at some point down the road. We have a couple passives here. Resist minion removal. This character has innate resistance against minion removal, which is going to work really well, synergy with the special skill. There's also another passive here, mana on minion summon. When a minion is summoned to an ally, this character gains 5% mana. This effect can activate only once per turn. And if you build around this guy, that could be a good bit of mana throughout the entire match. It really builds up, especially if you work for a survival build that's meant to go turn after turn after turn. Eventually, the mana generation that you're doing is just going to overtake your opponent. Okay, taking a look at the stats here, just very vanilla. It's 1021 attack, 887 defense, and 1528 HP. With the max power preview on, that's 1371 attack, 1198 defense, and 2012 HP. Nothing's like really standing out there. You know, it is higher attack, interestingly enough, for a hero like this that's going to be doing a lot with minions. I personally would have liked to see the defense higher than the attack, but it's fine because he's also dealing damage. So however you want to go about this, as far as leveling it up, the way it's being built here, since they did put more into the attack, I'd probably go swords at this point, as far as the path goes, just to... I have this thing when I play games. If there's something that's a strength about a hero or a character in a game, I like to just absolutely abuse that stat and try to build around it. And so since the attack's already really high, I probably would just go swords path on this one. And as you can see with the special, which is fast speed, by the way, and is very important for this hero, Command the Pack deals 400% damage to the target. Now, that's not a ton of damage for being a sniper in this day and age, but because he's dealing damage, if you go sword path, that's going to deal more damage to one. And occasionally you want to be doing that where you're taking one hero out at a time. So it looks like already we're going to be building a guy here on a team that's probably more survival, defense focused, where you're not easily defeated. You have minions and things like that. Deals additional 25% damage for each minion owned by the allies, up to 600% damage in total. Now, this is where you can really take advantage of him, and that higher attack stat is, of course, by just summoning as many minions as you possibly can. He just gets better and better that way. So in that case, and I wouldn't even say his defense is a weakness here, but all these minions are going to make up for that lower defense than the attack. So you really can go swords path on this one and take advantage of as much damage as you possibly can. So now you've got a slower team that's hopefully built more on survival. And then you've got him here who's going out and trying to snipe opponents one by one. I think that's the kind of build this is beckoning here. Summon a Loyal Hound minion for the caster with 35% HP and 35% attack, inherited from the caster. And that's a pretty big minion. When summoned, the Loyal Hound minion gives plus 50% attack for its owner as long as the owner has Loyal Hound minions. This effect can't be dispelled. So now you got a pretty good minion there, and it's increasing the already high attack, which you can also increase more the more minions that you have here. As far as damage goes. And then we got an elemental link that gives all nature allies plus 5% dodge chance for 3 turns. this effect can't be dispelled. As you know, dodge is very, very good in this game. Dodge is very good in this game. And so, of course, you really are only stacking a lot of greens if you're on offense. So do keep that in mind. I think Teleria is a pretty good one. See, you can see that kind of goes along with the theme of really building a slower paced, higher defense, more strategic killing offense, right? So the match is going to last longer. You hopefully survive longer, but you can take out opponents one at a time, take out the most threatening one, and then go from there. Once you've gotten card advantage, which is typically a word we use in card games, but this essentially is a card game. Once you've got card advantage where you have more heroes left than they do, then it gets a lot easier from there. So Teleria is a great synergistic one on offense. There's a lot of other heroes that are going to work really well in this one. And it's actually why I'm going to do summons today too, because we do have right here in the Legends summon some heroes that will summon minions, by the way. But going back here, Leadria is probably one of the best heroes that you could be pairing with Bow and Runt because of just all the minion synergy that's going to create an enormous amount of damage. You can really build around Bow and Runt if you do it right. So, you know, this means that Bow and Runt aren't really going to just be able to slide into any type of lineup. And, you know, I'm really glad to see a hero like Bow and Runt be released like this. I wish throughout Empires and Puzzles history, they'd released more heroes like this. You know, a lot of times they release just these really overpowered heroes that can just slot in anywhere, and it just makes sense to have the best heroes and use them. And those are always my like top tier heroes. They get A's because they're just so flexible. You're using them in raids and wars and against the bosses and tournaments and events, and they're just used everywhere. And I do wish that Empires and Puzzles had created more strategic heroes like this that you have to build around and find synergies, because I think that the meta would have been more balanced for a long, long time had we gotten these. So I like this hero a lot, but it can't be an A tier because it can't just slot in it anywhere. I do think that it's going to be useful in raids and wars. On offense, you're probably going to want to stack some greens and go with minions. But I think it could potentially work on defense too. It's just not my first option to put him on defense, but because of the minions, if you've got, you know, if you've got some kind of strong minion synergy, you could use it on defense. I just think it's going to end up being more of an offensive type of strategic attacking team. And then you could potentially use this in events and tournaments too. Probably more tournaments than events. But I think in events, if you're just trying to complete, it's always useful to have minions, especially if the minions are now just exponentially increasing your ability to deal damage and things like that. So for that reason, I'm going to give Bow and Runt a B, because I think that it's actually a pretty good hero, or heroes, because there's two of them in here. But I think it's a pretty good hero. You just can't use it everywhere. You know, there's like, you're certainly not going to be taking this against the bosses or anything like that. But I do think it has its uses, and I think it could be a fun one to play around with. And so because of that, I am going to do the first summons I've done in a long, long, long time. And that's because in the Legends summon, we can actually pick a couple of minion heroes here. Now, there might be better heroes than Sashat and Delilah, which I'm picking, but they actually have minions, which I think is really cool with this hero of the month. So let's do this. All right, we got a 4-star hero there, and this is my last like free one here. So I just want to do a couple summons. Oh, okay, so we didn't do anything. But that figures. That figures. With only 2 summons, it often takes a whole lot of summons to be able to get the heroes that you want. Well, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, especially what you think about Bow and Runt, what you want to see for Heroes of the Month in the future. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.